How do you think people can find that or figure that out? Because I think a lot of people don't even know.
First step is just seeking wisdom. If you have wisdom, then you will have a foundation of courage. Because it takes like a truckload of courage to go out and say yes to I'm doing something that everyone else thinks that's crazy.
Yeah. Wisdom. Where do you find wisdom?
You ask for it. That's the greatest thing about it is you just ask for it.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I feel like you get surrounded by people as well as, a spiritual sense that is going to provide that for you.
Yeah, and it's transferable. That's the other really cool thing about relationships and people. And I love coming in here and working out because I pick up on the wisdom of other people who've gone through the fire with trials and errors, and maybe they've had great experiences that they're going to share with me, or they're going to say, that didn't work out so well. And I think back to this year as far as wisdom goes, and applicable wisdom, like actually like, okay, Doug, this is all nice Pollyannish talk, all this stuff, but what is actually like what works? And I think, this year has been a very transformative year for me. And I'll give Caitlin all the credit for this because she had the courage to start a nutrition program. And she's good at it. She's interested in it. She writes about it. But that doesn't mean that she had to do it. But she did. Why did she do it? Well, it helps people like me. I'm not even on I think she has some like souped up program. I don't even know what that is.
That's the program at NOS. Yeah.
Is that what that is?
No.
Have you done the souped up program? Like where you count macros? I don't even know. I don't even know what a macro is.
Don't know what a macro ingredient?
I don't even want to know what that is.
You got your macro and your micro. We're going to educate you right now, Doug. You got macro ingredients. Your macro is your carbs, your fat, your protein. And your micro ingredients are all the little the vitamins and minerals that are in those larger macronutrients. So you got macro and micro.
Yeah, see, not interested. And you might be out there in podcast world. That might be your thing. I know probably is for Caitlin. I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be for you. I don't know. But for me, what I needed change. And I needed change quick because I'm getting old. And what Caitlin was able to do is say, hey, yeah, I can work with you. You don't have to be the person in here who's leading the scores on the scoreboard. If you want to feel better, here's the prescription.
Yeah.
And so wisdom is a lot of times it's found from buying wisdom. If you can buy wisdom, I buy Caitlin's program. Yeah. I'm in on it.
Well, that's capitalism, right? You
do
something well,
too,
right?
That too. I love that. But that's a key principle in life that I picked up from my friend Keith is buy wisdom.
Yeah.
And it might cost you a little bit of money, but geez, is it ever worth it? And so with Caitlin, bought into her program. It took a while.
Yeah.
Because she had to reshape my thinking. And she was very gentle. She was graceful because I was eating a lot of pizza. And
what was the other thing you like? Tostitos?
Well, I still do chips and salsa quite a bit. Caroline and Warner, my son Warner, we got a great garden and
make some homemade salsa.
Yeah, but even in like February when we don't have a great garden, we're still making homemade salsa. So yeah, chips and salsa, I'm always in. But
we all got our thing.
But the point is through her wisdom, she basically helped me be stronger. Yeah. And be smarter. Like I was drinking, nothing against if you're drinking like 8 Dr. Peppers a week like I was.
All the things against that. That's a very bad, please stop.
Well, but there was a want to.
Sure.
That began to happen, and I needed wisdom, okay? I don't have the time to dive into this, nor do I even have the energy or want to start looking at websites and trying to figure things out on my own.
Well,
So-
your bandwidth is spread thin. You got 4 boys, you've got a wife, you got a business, in a complicated business at that.
Yeah, and so to buy wisdom is always a pro move. If you can narrow down what it is you're looking for, there's somebody out there with wisdom to give it to you.
Well, it's contracting out for life, right? Like I contract out marketing for the business because I can't do marketing. It just doesn't click with me. My brain doesn't work. So I hire somebody who has that skill set. Right?
Yeah.
Same thing with investing in yourself.
It tends to stack as well. So if you start getting traction and this is nothing new for anybody, you start getting traction in one area, well, next thing you know, you got some traction in another because you say, hey, we've had some victories here.
Yeah.
And I want to stack another victory. What would another victory look like? Well, as I start to stack these victories, what's exciting for me personally is you start thinking beyond yourself. Hey, I'm doing all right here, but what about one of my kids? What are they looking at next?
Yeah.
Like, what could be the next leap for them if we were to forecast out 13, 14 months? What big opportunities could they say yes to that would be excellent on their radar?
Yeah.
Or what are some things that are just flat out good that we're doing that we need to stop?
Yeah.
And if we have some good stuff going on and we stop doing them, then they have time to focus in on what's really, really excellent in their lives.
It's good. You got a lot of wisdom. You know that?
Yeah, it's because I bought it all.
Right.
I don't.
One thing you'll notice about Doug is if you get to talk to him in person, Doug's a very wise man. Not to inflate his ego or anything, but I think a lot of that comes from your partner too, right?
Yeah.
Because he's spoken a lot of wisdom into you.
Yeah, I'd say I actually keep a list. It's on my phone. I have a couple trophies I'm really proud of, and they're list. So I have a wisdom list. It's called that.
The wisdom list. I like it.
And that's important to have that because when it hits the fan, and you don't have your wits about yourself, for me, I can just pull up my phone and say, "Oh, call Don." Yeah, I should reach out to Don on this one. He might know something about that. And so to have a wisdom list is a pro move. The other trophy that I have that is a list is I have a list of, and I call it coffee shop people. And it's everyone I've ever met at a coffee shop.
How many people are on that list at this point?
Goodness, I don't know. I showed it to our friend Parker the other day, and he's on the list.
Wait, Parker was there the other day?
Yeah.
Oh, I miss Parker. I haven't seen him recently.
I don't know, Will. There might be, I don't know if there's 70 or 100, but there's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. Yeah. We meet a lot of people in the coffee shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
We almost have our own community there.
Well, and it's not hard because what happens is someone might introduce someone else to us. So it's not like we're like walking around with our business cards, like
Hey, how you doing today?
slinging
Right.
them at people. It's an introduction.
Yeah.
And those introductions, some of them turn into friendships.
Yeah. I've talked to people about, starting a new business or, finding people to do, certain things for them. And I'm like, go sit in a coffee shop for a month. Every day for a month. Go there for like an hour in the morning. You'll meet people. And it's so cool because like Rivet here and Indie Coffee Roasters are the two spots we frequent the most. And, they've been great places to just, and not intentionally. Like when I'm there doing work or when I'm there reading, I don't necessarily want to talk to people, but it just happens. You bump into people. Some people come up and are like, I see you here a lot. What do you do?
That's inspiring.
It is, yeah.
Like I walked into the coffee shop today, and there was a guy that is on the list, and I just said hello to him, nothing else.
Right.
But he comes in and he reads a book to his daughter.
Oh, that's cool.
And they've been doing it for like 2 years. And so I walk in and I see stuff like that. I'm inspired.
Yeah.
I'm inspired. It helps me pump up my day, and I can carry that along with me to the next phone call or to the next meeting, or just to reflect back on, hey, what are things I could be doing with my sons?
Yeah.
Am I available for them? And so you see just great life happening at the coffee shop. You also see great customer service at a local coffee shop because they've got to earn it every day.
Yeah. When Doug says local coffee shop, we're not talking Starbucks.
Yeah, and there are folks who work at Starbucks who are the entrepreneurial people.
Sure.
They are the people who know your name, and it's more than just a mobile app order. And so the invisible's the best. It is just the best. Like, you never know what someone is thinking about.
Right.
It could be that barista at the Starbucks, and sees you walking in, and she notices that your countenance has changed. You're looking sad or whatever, and hey, behind the scenes, she might be praying for you. And so these relationships that you run across in your local community, whatever you're doing, if you're going to Hardee's, I went to Hardee's for a little while.
Gosh.
Whatever you're doing, that can make a big difference in just your day. And